The switch, or case conditional statement, is a sort of short form for an if statement. It takes one condition and executes code based on the results of that condition. I use the switch statement in almost every script that I write. In order to show you how and why I do this, first we need to quickly cover one of the standards that I follow for my programming. Imagine a website that the owner has control over content in the testimonial section. Now, they have a passworded administration that they can add, edit, and delete testimonials. You could write a separate script that covers the add, edit, and delete functions. For each function, you would have to have 2 pages. One page is the form, and one page is the script that handles the actual action. So now, just to perform 3 small functions, you would have 6 pages of code. I think that's just a waste. So using the switch statement, I can combine that into one single page, and this is how. This is the structure of the switch statement here. We have the switch statement followed by a round bracket, and then we have a condition within the round brackets. Typically with a switch statement, this is not a conditional statement that results in a Boolean value, but rather a statement that returns a possible range of values. In this case, we are using the superglobal get and a value of action, which will get passed into that superglobal through the URL, if you remember our HTML lessons. Next, we enclose each of the case statements within curly brackets. Each possibility has its own case statement, followed by colons. So we have add, do add, edit, do edit, delete, do delete. Each one of these values will come from the superglobal get. For each case, if there's a match, this code would be executed. So if we're adding a testimonial, the action would be add, and this code would be executed. That would be the testimonial form. Now when we actually want to do the add, we pass through a different action in the URL, and this bit of code would be executed. Finally, at the bottom, we have our default action. The default action takes place if none of these cases were met. Now it's important to note the use of this statement here, the break statement. If there is no break after a case, the script would continue executing each line of code, ignoring case statements. So if we were to move the break after the add statement, for instance, here, and the action came as add, this code would be executed, and this code would be executed. So this case statement is ignored. If you don't want multiple cases to be executed, make sure you have that break statement in there. So this is the way that I use the switch statement on a regular basis. Try loading the script into your browser and use different actions to execute different parts of the switch statement to see how that works. So here we have the default. There's no action in the URL, so the default gets executed. If we set action equal to add, we get show the add testimonial form here, which is exactly here. Now if we were to remove all of these breaks, what do you think is going to happen? Save that. Everything is executed because there's no break to halt it after the first one. Now if we were to set the action to do edit, notice how none of the first ones were executed because none of these cases were matched. As soon as this case was matched, everything afterwards up to the next break was executed. So we just put our breaks back in, and our code should execute only the doEdit function. And there we go. Perform the edit function here.